What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Ming & Moto Show. It's your boy. Yeah! So, I want to talk about Sur-On electric bikes. If you don't know what a Sur-On electric bike is, I can tell you one thing. It doesn't sound anything like this. Actually, I take that back. It doesn't sound like shit. It doesn't sound like a damn thing, because it's electric. Now, the good thing about electric bikes is if you have one and you want to go rip it up around your neighborhood without getting in trouble, you could do that kind of shit because, well, it's a Sur-On, it's electric. There's no sound to it. So first off, no one's gonna know you're riding unless if they see you. And if they see you, you can dip on them and they will never know where you're at, because they can't see you, they can't hear you, nothing. But the problem is, the problem that I have with Sur-On bikes, actually there's two reasons. One, they're a Chinese brand, and we all know Chinese bikes all have a fucking problem. A lot easier, quicker than any other brand of motorcycle out there. Even the big Japanese four, Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki, and Suzuki, they have all been around for hundreds of years. And they've all been tried, true, and tested and proven to be good bikes. That's just from the Asian market. But we all know KTM and Husqvarna are number one and number two across all bike brands, no matter what. Actually, they're both number one because they're both owned by KTM. So, KTM and Husqvarna are both number one, above and beyond every other bike brand around the world. So, sorry if you own a Honda or Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, Harley Davidson, or Indian, and all that shit. Sorry, but KTM's number one no matter what. The only reason why people hate KTM is because they can't afford the price tag. But with Sur-On, my second complaint that I have with Sur-On is their price tag. Their price tag is freaking ridiculous. They're supposed to be the cheaper alternative to gasoline dirt bikes and regular pedal mountain bikes. Yeah, I can tell you that their electric dirt bike is definitely cheaper than a KTM, but their electric dirt bike is the same price as a Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda. Hell, the Sur-On dirt bike might be even more expensive than that. And you only get like a 50 to 60 mile range with it. So you can only go 50 miles before you have to charge it back up. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? I've gone way more than 60 fucking miles out here today. I don't know, maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but still. And their electric mountain bike model is about half the price of a brand new downhill mountain bike. So yeah, $4,500 for a electric mountain bike is pretty expensive. And like $9,800 for an electric motor dirt bike, that's still an expensive alternative. Now, would I? No, I'm not saying I would never own a Sur-On, right? I'm not saying I would never own a Sur-On. I just cannot afford $4,500 for an electric mountain bike. And even if I could, I don't think I would spend that kind of money on a fucking mountain bike. I mean, hell, the mountain bike that I have, I bought back in 2022, used for $150 fucking dollars. So, what does that tell you? Now, if I had the Sur-On electric mountain bike that was $4,500, yeah, I might actually use the thing more often than the one that I have now. But I'm not going to go out of my way to spend that kind of money to have an electric mountain bike or an electric dirt bike. If I'm going to spend 10 grand on a dirt bike, I'm gonna turn around and buy a KTM 300 two-stroke. Or I'm gonna spend the extra $5,000 and buy a KTM 300 or KTM 500 EXC dual sport. Because at that point, with having a 3.5 to 5 gallon gas tank, I know exactly how far I can go, and I can see by looking at my gas tank how much gas I have compared to having some dumbass battery thing right here saying, oh, you got 5 bars of a battery life left. Well, how far is 5 out of 7 battery life? I don't know. So I guess if it's a 60-mile battery life between each charge and I have 6 bars of battery, that means I can go 10 miles per bar on the display, I guess, right? But at the same time, being out here in the desert, the elements will suck your battery life a lot faster than normal street ride. Because if I go do a hill climb, it's gonna take a lot more energy to climb that hill than it would be if I'm sitting here cruising at 30 miles an hour or 15 or 20 or whatever. Now when I'm going through a bunch of soft sand, it's gonna take a lot more energy to go through soft sand than it will if I am riding on that hard packed dirt. Like this is hard packed dirt here with sand. It's gonna take a lot more energy to ride through that than it is on this kind of stuff here. It's all hard packed, just like blacktop. So to me, is a Sur-On electric bike really worth it? At the end of the day, for the price tag and the amount of and the distance you can go on a full charge, no. At this very point in time, I'm gonna have to say buying a Sur-On electric bike is not worth it, or any electric bike for that matter. It's not only so much about the sound of riding a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke or any combustible engine at all. Yeah, I love the sound of a 2-stroke, but at the end of the day, I don't, it's not all about it's not about the sound of a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. It's not about gas versus diesel or what's better, this bike or that bike. It's it's how far can you really go in the desert with an electric dirt bike. Now the electric mountain bike, on the other hand, you're not going to be out here in this kind of shit on an electric mountain bike, right? Maybe, for the most part, right? At the end of the day, you're going to be on a dirt bike, and you're going to be out here 90% of the time. You're going to be out here for the weekend, and I'm not going to be out here for the weekend because today's my day off, just like yesterday, and I got to go back to work tomorrow. So, and today's December 8th, 2022, and it's Thursday. Yes, I still have that weird schedule of Wednesdays and Thursdays being my days off compared to Saturdays and Sundays. And I'm not complaining. I don't care. As long as I get a day off and I can come out ride once in a while, that's all I'm concerned about. Let's see here. Well, there's only 12. You know what? Give me the tall can real quick. I'm going to enjoy that while I pack my shit up and get the F out of Edge. So there's 2, 4, 5 of those beers out of a 12 pack left. 2 Pepsis and a Mountain Dew. 2 Mountain Dews left. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about the whole electric vehicle shit, because I've always told myself, ever since these electric vehicles started coming out, Teslas, yeah, they're cool, you know, whatever. I know they're the #1 leading competitor in electric vehicles, and Elon Musk has done a lot of shit, you know, whatever, right? Kudos to that guy. Kudos to Tesla for what they've done and all that type of stuff. You know, now we got, you know, I work at Ford now, a year and a half later. We got the electric vehicles like the Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning. The F-150 Lightning is fast as fuck, right? 572 horsepower, 720 foot-pounds of torque, whatever. That's freaking fast, right? Especially from a electric vehicle, right? And I like the Lightning, kind of. But at the end of the day, with all of the electric vehicles, no matter if it's Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Tesla, Nissan, Toyota, whoever, you know, I don't care who it is. Just, you got a cool little setup there, bud. I just don't really like electric vehicles, and I know most people are like, oh, well, gas price is this, gas price is that. It's like, yeah, well, at the end of the day, you pay for what you get, you know. You either have an electric vehicle and you gotta sit there for an hour, 2 hours at a quick charger or whatever charging station to charge up your car, right? Which you probably do and while you have lunch or dinner or whatever, right? And yes, you still gotta pay for it. I know like $10-15 is a hell of a lot better than $100 for in gas on my truck, right? But then at the other hand, you got, you know, gas or diesel vehicles that are, you know, $100, $150, $200 in fuel, depending on what kind of vehicle you have and how big of a fuel tank you got and all this shit, right? But you're done in like 15 minutes or less. You pull up, fill up, pay for it, whatever, then you're out, right? And at this, you know, I love saving money. Believe me, I love to save money. But at the end of the day, I can always make more money picking up recycling, doing odd jobs, working more hours at work, whatever. I cannot, will not, and will never be able to recover my time on this planet. So if I spend 2 hours charging my car or an hour charging my car and I'm sitting there, whatever, I will never get that hour or two of time of my life back. And I am not hating on any electric vehicles or any electric vehicle companies or anybody that owns those types of cars. I am not hating on you at all. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, 62 miles on an electric dirt bike is gonna be probably about 25 at the end of the day, doing shit like this that I've done today, climbing up some of these hills and going through the soft sand and, you know, going through those whoops and shit. And it's like, you ain't gonna get, you ain't getting after 62 miles on an electric dirt bike. On an electric Sur-On mountain bike, or any other electric mountain bike for that matter, 62 miles is a long goddamn way. You might get 50 miles before you really have to charge it up, you know, or have to be concerned about charging it up. But that's a whole nother story. That's a goddamn electric mountain bike. So 60 miles on an electric mountain bike, I'm not really gonna bitch about that. But with these electric cars, 300 to 350 miles on a full charge, and it taking an hour or longer to charge them up, I don't know, man. Just pros and cons. The cons outweigh the pros for that thing, for electric cars, and I'm gonna have to say no on buying an electric dirt bike or an electric car for the time being, because yeah, unless if I can get over 700 miles on a charge, and it can take 15 minutes to charge that damn thing up hella quick, to where I can go inside to the charging area, grab something to drink, and use the restroom, and hang out for a couple minutes to stretch my legs, and be like, oh, you're 90% charged in 15 minutes. So out of 750 miles or 700 miles, that's what, 9, 18, 27, 36, let's say 550 miles range or so. 90% in 15 minutes, I could live with that. Then if I really want 750 mile charge or range, plug it into my house overnight in my personal charger, and it should be fully charged by the next morning. That, fine, whatever. But anyways, Sur-Ons, I'm kind of like, I'm 50-50 on. No, they're not worth the price. The electric dirt bike is definitely not something I would be buying, because it ain't worth the 10 grand for 60 miles out here in the desert. The mountain bike, 60 miles on a $4,500 electric bike. The price sucks. The mileage is okay, whatever. So it's a 50-50. But again, that, yeah, I don't know. Would I buy it? No. If Sur-On, if you happen to see this, if they gave me one of those electric mountain bikes and I could actually ride it and keep it, will my views on it change? No. Because, yeah, they are a lot of fun, and they would be worth the fact that you can use those to get back and forth to work. But the price is not worth it. The price is too high. Now, if they could drop that price down from $4,500 down to like $2 grand, $3 grand, or like way less than $3 grand, like $2,500 or less, then it might be worth it. But anyways, love y'all, be safe, catch you guys on the flip side.